Okay, did you like my royalty-free intro music?
Sure. I mean, it sounds it sounds like you found it. You Googled
Really?
royalty-free.
Well, that's what I did.
Yeah, you Googled royalty-free. Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like, but it sounds good.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No,
that's
of course.
actually the nicest thing anyone has ever said about the podcast.
Yeah, no, you guys give royalty-free intro music in the most polite way.
Welcome to the
5th
episode of the Hoot and Holler podcast. I'm here with a very special guest. This person walks 10 miles a day, 4 to 10 miles a day, is a Vanderpump Rules connoisseur, and also a talk show superstar. This is Matthew.
Yeah, we're not that. No, that last part was a lie, but the rest love.
Okay.
I'm no superstar. That insinuates that I'm on the TV, which I'm not.
But
my name is
behind
in the credits.
But behind the scenes, you are a superstar.
Period.
Humble, but accepting of the title.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we just came from a screening of A Quiet Place, day one. And wow.
It was...
What an experience.
It was a moment. I won't lie. I shed a tear.
No, you didn't.
I actually did. I was sitting next to you and I was embarrassed to admit it, but I did shed a tear.
Was it when Eddie Munson is doing a magic trick on the stage?
I would be so real. I did not know that was that man's name, but no. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was with the cat at the end.
I think we can spoil.
I did I shed a tear. I was holding it in, but I shed a tear at the end, and her, D-wording. I was like, oh, that's so sad. And the cat was the real star. Also, okay, controversial, but at the beginning, buccal fat removal on Lupita, or no, because her cheekbones were chiseled, and I don't remember them being like that. Did you get that?
I did not get that.
Okay, because it was pronounced.
I think she's stunning. She's always
gorgeous,
been stunning.
But I was like, okay, she's a little more chiseled than she used to be.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I didn't
I'll
know
have to look at before and afters. I haven't memorized the outlines of her.
Do you
face.
watch Lori Hill?
I'm gonna be so real. I don't know who that is.
So she's this YouTuber. I watch her all the time, and she analyzes celebrity plastic surgeries.
Oh, I love
that. She does her research. She'll pull up 200 reference photos, tracing back 10 years. She goes, this is what they looked like pre-stardom. She stalks their Instagrams, their Facebook pages.
Pre-lip filler vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, period.
And she will get to the bottom. So I would not be surprised if she had a video on Lupita.
I've seen on TikTok there's people who are plastic surgeons that do that. Is she a plastic surgeon?
No. So her thing is that she's a victim
of bad surgery.
Yeah. So she had her nose fell off.
You're fully off.
Her nose fully fell off. It's called necrosis.
Is it back on?
She got. I think they somehow reconstructed it, but she said for years, I think 5 years, she had no nose. She was Voldemort. IRL.
I met a woman. Okay, total side note. I met a woman in Italy, and she had no nose, and she was begging on the streets. And the story that she told, allegedly,
okay.
I'm gonna put disclaimer here. Allegedly, she was hostage to her father. This was Capri. Imagine you're in Capri. It's surrounded by lemon trees.
Okay, I don't know.
Lemons.
Anything.
Think lemons.
Oh, lemons. Okay, got
Think
it.
lemons
Got it.
and a homeless woman
image
on the street with no nose. And she's talking to people, and she's saying that she was held hostage by her father, and she ran away with a man. And the dad caught her and cut off her nose so that no man would ever love her again. This is a true story. I don't know that this is a true story, but this is a true story that there was a woman on the streets of Capri begging for money, or I guess it was Sorrento, when you get off the boat, fresh off the boat. Honestly, it was very spooky. I was sad for her.
What did it look like? Was it two slits? Was it Voldemort kind of snake-like, or was it
remember
there was a nose there?
No, it was there was remember the Fallout TV show with the ghoul guy?
Oh, that's so scary.
It was that.
That's so sad.
A hole in the face. It was really sad. And she did not have a nose. I don't know that the story is real.
That's a fact.
The fact is, unless she had massive prosthetics, which kudos to her as a woman on the streets, love that journey for her. But the story she told, she's a storyteller, and I respect that for her.
So, okay, I want to finish up this talk about A Quiet Place Day 1. What shocks me the most is that I thought A Quiet Place, their whole thing was, oh, we're a scary movie that we shot on like a $10 million budget because it all takes place on a farm. There's almost no CGI. It's like 4 characters on a farm. And now all of a sudden they're in New York City. Buildings are crumbling. There's explosions. Michael Bay was attached to this movie. It's really come a long way. How did we get here?
I mean, how did we get here? They were major blockbuster hits. So they made money.
It's a very limited cast with no dialogue pretty much. Did we need this? Did it need to be $100 million production with all this CGI?
I liked it.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, where are we pulling the 100 million from?
I just made that up.
Okay. So,
but you saw that list of CGI artists at the end.
I'm going to say something so controversial. I did not care if that family on the farm died. I'm sorry. I really didn't. I did not care for them. This took me on a journey. I wanted Lupita to live, but she couldn't. And the puppet show was iconic. Number one.
The puppet show. Oh my God.
Low-key, I think we need to go to a puppet show. Like,
Low-key,
what I got from that movie is that we need to go to a puppet show.
ASAP. I was enthralled when that balloon was like floating up into the air and then it popped.
The pop made me jump, I won't lie.
Oh my God.
The man who screamed behind us, that was fun.
Oh, he was shook.
He was shook. They were loud as heck. But
what I found interesting is there's this book that everyone who's interested in screenwriting knows about or has read. It's called Save the Cat. I've never read it, but I think the premise of the book is to have an effective character, you need an event like right at the start of the movie that introduces their morals, like, oh, it's proof that this is a good character and someone that we relate to as a good person. It was Save the Cat. The only difference between this movie and the other movies was kind of like, okay, it takes place in a big city and there's a cat.
Okay, so the first movie's driven by childbirth, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This movie was driven by the love of pizza. Like, I can relate to that.
This is true.
I can't relate to childbirth, but you know what I can relate to? Being in New York City and wanting a good slice, So like at the end of the day, who did I relate to more? Lupita. Because she just
She's
wanted
an animal lover.
a pizza. What do I have in common?
see it.
I don't even know the other lady's name. I also, Lupita's name, what was it? Serena? Miranda?
Samira, you said.
Samira.
Which
thank
we didn't
you.
know until the credits
Nobody
rolled
told
by.
me that. Nobody told me that. The other one was Eric, and that was memorable because, hello. Here
Because
you are.
that's my name.
That's you. Surprise. Spoiler alert. He
And
spelled it with a C, though.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of my biggest pet
I
peeves.
was looking. That is also my father's name, so be very, very careful.
Okay, sorry.
Eric with a C is an icon, but Eric with a K is just like more. It's like modern.
Well, it's upsetting because everyone defaults to the C. Even
Correct.
people I know.
Yeah.
Like people that I've worked with for years, they'll send me an email with a C.
Because I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
That's correct.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe in terms of like origins, it comes from the Vikings with a K.
Yeah, okay.
It's very
whatever.
Nordic, and I believe that actually came around first.
Well, you know what? I'm going to agree to disagree, even though I have no evidence or proof or valid reason, just because in my world, my father, Eric, with a C came first, and then you came second. So...
But have you heard of Leif Erikson?
No, who's that? Just kidding. Yes, I know who
Okay.
Leif Erikson is. I don't live under a rock.
Okay.
Proceed with your story.
Well, I think he came first.
Okay, but that's Erikson, not
Well,
Eric.
that's like how those Nordic things work. It's like Leif is the son of an Eric, and he came first.
I just feel like more people have it with a C. And I'm not saying it's great because you're unique, and I love that you're unique.
Thanks.
But I feel like the more common, I was going to use the word normal, but it's very
Oh my
normal to
God.
spell it with a K. The more common spelling is with a C. But I did note that in the credits. But there were some people who worked on the movie that had Eric with a K. I did. I was looking out for it.
See,
So,
and those
people
are the
exist.
people I trust.
We see them.
The thing is, if I were to hire someone and there was an option between an Eric with a C and an Eric with a K,
Well, that's discrimination. Don't incriminate
I don't
yourself
think it
here.
is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that counts.
How so?
I don't know. That's like problematic. Like I think that's workplace
I know
discrimination.
that is not discrimination. It's a preference.
Okay, sure. I think if that's the only reason you don't hire someone is because of,
Well, okay, no, I'm saying if they're like completely equally qualified, I'm gonna go with the K.
I mean, okay. I mean,
Is that bad?
I don't know. I don't know if it is.
Because that's my lived experience.
And you can relate to it.
Well, I think those people have
But wouldn't
been-
you want... No, but here's the thing. Wouldn't
Okay.
you want to, like, diversify your experience? So, like, wouldn't you want to welcome others? It feels like you're afraid of others from this, like, from this conversation.
No, I think I want to bring the
You want to
othered-
surround yourself with people who are exactly
No,
like
I want to
you.
bring the people who have been othered their entire lives and make them feel like they have a home.
But you just told me that Eric with a K is correct. So are they othered?
I said it was first. I didn't say it was correct.
All right. Well, on that note.
Okay, on that note, we're going to move into our topic of the episode, which is a beloved, treasured board game from all of our childhoods. It is the one and only Clue.
Also known as Cluedo.
Also known as Cluedo. And is that like a British thing? I'm confused.
It's Latin. So Ludo is I play in Latin. So it's like
Oh my
I play
God.
Clue, I think.
Wait, that makes so much sense because for those who don't know, which is probably everyone listening, I have a board game Instagram account. I'm trying to be a board game influencer.
Plug it here.
No. I want this. I want to gain my following organically.
Okay, fair.
So
Sorry.
I don't want to plug that. But all the other board game accounts, if they're like German or from some other country, they all have Ludo in the name. I think there's also a board game publishing company called Ludo Nova, which might mean new play.
Yeah.
Oh my
Possibly.
God.
Look at you. You're learning things. I'm learning things. I just know that because I Googled it like years ago when I had my Clue, fan phase.
Yeah, well, that's actually why I suggested this topic, because I know you're a huge Clue fan.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's
Like one of the biggest I personally know.
it's a classic and it's easy and I win a lot. And I like to quit things that I'm not good at. And I am good at Clue. I didn't have the board game for a long time in my life. Had it when I was a youth and then it disappeared. It's very sad. Very, very
no.
tragic. Yeah, I know. But then they made a mobile app. And that was when it reintroduced itself into my life. Like, I'd say, 2020 pandemic
Oh, it
era.
was a pandemic hobby.
It was a pandemic hobby. The mobile
Okay.
app. You familiar with the mobile app?
I'm not.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, just like a quick side note.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure if they redid the characters specifically for the mobile app or like they did like a rejuvenation with like, I'm going to say it, like sexier characters.
I was going to talk about this.
Okay, good. Can we go on to that just like right now really quick?
Yeah, you go first.
The mobile game characters, which I'm guessing are the new modern characters, are all like, hot in my opinion. And like Miss Scarlet. What's her name?
Miss Scarlet.
Miss Scarlet could get it respectfully.
Oh, for sure.
Even like the Colonel Mustard guy who like used to be
No
kind of
way.
like, he was like kind of like an old like,
Because yeah, Colonel's always the ugly one.
he's like the old
He's
daddy
super fugly.
vibe thing. He's like, I mean, he's not like the hottest, but like,
But it's like
give
Silver
me a
Fox.
few like, yeah, like give me like a few like tequila sodas and like I'll do it.
Okay.
Mr. Green. Is it
I
Mr. Green?
always Mr. Green.
Do they all have like little pronoun things before their names?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
is-
So okay, it's Miss Scarlet, and then Professor Plum,
Mhm.
Mr. Green, Colonel Mustard,
Mrs. White.
Mrs. White.
But she got canceled for a bit.
Yeah,
They brought
she
her back. She's
did.
back 2023. As of 2023, which happened already. Thank you, everyone. It's happened. She has made her resurgence.
Thank
But
God.
They got
I
rid of
mean-
her. She was cute. She's like the old hag, right?
Yeah.
The older woman, if you will.
Well, I think in a lot
But
of
even now she's hot.
renditions, she's like a maid of sorts.
Okay, well now she's a hot old lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a gilf.
And then what is wait, Peacock. What is she? What's her
She's blue.
No, but what's her is she a miss? Oh, lady? No, it's not Lady Peacock.
No,
What is
that's giving lady of the night.
um
I feel like her name is
Mrs.?
just Peacock.
No, she has a
She has a
thing.
name.
Madam.
No, it's
Ma'am.
Ma'am. Yeah, we'll go with Miss Ma'am Peacock. Let me look her up real quick. Peacock, Mrs. Peacock. She is a married woman.
Maybe Scarlet is different then.
No, Miss Scarlet. Yeah, Miss Scarlet is free and available, and I know that because when I saw her revamped outfit, I checked. I was like, "Is this woman
we all
married?"
did.
She is, in fact, single.
So I wanted to bring this up as well because I've had 3 editions of Clue throughout my life.
Love that.
I had Clue Junior, which I think it took place in a theme park and nobody died because it was for kids.
Boring.
And then I had the Simpsons Clue. And I think it was technically my brother's, but I played it because he didn't really play games. And then it was called Clue Discover the Secrets. It was this version, they introduced like a timer. So like, even if no one solved the mystery, you could still die because the time runs out. And if you pull like the last little clock card, you die. So that was exciting.
High
But
stakes.
in the Clue Discover the Secrets version, instead of little like animated characters, they used actual photographs of people.
I hated that.
Okay, here's the thing. I remember them being like really sexy. And I was
How
like,
old were you when you played this? That you were thinking, man, these people are
like,
sexy?
I don't know.
I'm not coming
13
for
or
you, but
something.
okay. So you were a 13-year-old looking at full. I mean, period.
That was my memory. And then before we recorded, I looked up pictures and they're like kind of ugly.
They're ugly in the original.
They're really old.
Miss Scarlet's still hot.
I was shocked. In my memory, I was just like, wow. Like, first of all, who do you ship? I ship Professor Plum and Miss Scarlet all day.
I ship Professor Plum and Mr. Green, but I think that I mean I could see like Miss Scarlet with like the Colonel, like the old guy, because she gives me like
Really?
yeah, I don't know. She gives like to me, Miss Scarlet is like gold digger sort of energy. Like she's like the hot young vixen, and I think she would want like an older man, like maybe a military guy who has like some sort of like benefits, so she could marry him and then kill him. To me, like Miss Scarlet is always the killer. And I know that's not how the game works, but like in my mind, like even if I am Miss Scarlet, like I killed everyone and I'm just framing somebody else. She is the villain, but in the best possible way.
That's an interesting take because in my head, I always think it's Mrs. White.
The old hag.
I think the old hag does it because she has nothing to lose.
She was the maid?
She's the maid.
It's always the maid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, and then I open up the case file and I'm like, Miss Peacock, like, what are you doing in there? You have no reason to kill. Yet she did.
But that's the thing. It doesn't make sense because it's always Miss Scarlet and she's just framing the others.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like I really
Well,
do
what if they
believe
teamed up? Oh my God, no one would expect like the hot vixen and then like the old hag to team up and take down the master of the manor.
But then she lets the old hag take the fall. Like
yeah, of course, it's Miss Scarlet.
That's shady. She lost 10 points. Minus 10 points for you, Miss Scarlet.
Okay.
That's not nice.
She's Miss Scarlet. She doesn't have to be nice.
I mean, valid. She's hot. She's hot. Why be nice?
Why be nice?
Why be nice when you can be beautiful? And
that's what I always say.
Yeah, exactly. It's your life motto.
Oh, did you know that there's a Clue movie?
I did. I've never seen it, but
it's old.
It's like 90s, 80s?
Oh no,
60s?
It's kind of giving 60s, but
I feel
like
it might have been
I'm
1965.
Sure.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh, that sounds actually perfect.
I'm going to say 1965, pre my parents, which is great.
I did watch it with my sisters, and
out of 10, what would you give it?
This was years ago. Sorry, 8? No,
oh my God.
That's really high.
Whoa.
7.
I was like, that's a
7.
blockbuster film.
It's like peak, like old.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Is it like black and white? When did they invent movie color? Before
that
the
was
60s.
like 40s, I think, when Wizard of Oz was like the first one.
Grandparents era. Okay.
Yeah, so this was significantly.
They
after
had
that.
color in the.
They
60s.
had color for
Okay,
sure,
good,
for
good,
sure.
good. Love that for them.
They were so creative. I think this might have been the first movie to do this. Don't quote me, but they had alternate endings.
I love that.
So just like the game, like you don't know who actually did it. So they're like, but what if? Or I think the way it's framed, they reveal who the killer is, and then they like zoom out and they're like, that's one theory, but here's another one, and then they go through like every single character, and then I think it just ends.
They don't tell you who actually did it.
I don't remember.
That would not satisfy me. I want to know who the killer is.
But don't you love a cliffhanger?
No, I don't.
Oh, but see, I
don't mean to yuck on your yum. I don't like that.
My thing is, I love when there's like a little, like there's a ribbon, but it's not tied up in a little bow. It's loose. And you have to go onto Reddit and read forums, theories. I love doing that research after a movie and figuring out what did happen here.
Yeah, so like I mean doing the research like that, it's like cute and it's a fun vibe, but like it's not for me. Like I want to know who the killer is. I want to know what weapon they used. I want to know what room it was in. But specifically the weapons, you know?
Yeah.
I like to know the means of the killing. And did they tell you that in the movie? Did they tell you what weapon, or was it hypothetically different?
I think it was all hypothetical. Again, I watched this 8 years ago. I'm not positive.
You need a rewatch, and then you need to do a little update at the end of this.
Speaking of weapons, I gave you a little homework before today's episode.
I know, it was so rude. I haven't done homework in years. I was really offended.
Did you complete it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So I thought it'd be fun as a little like mental exercise, a little writing exercise.
Oh, I didn't write anything.
Oh,
I was not supposed to write. Don't give me that.
I wanted a 10-page paper.
Okay, well, you're not getting it. But you're going to get my authentic thoughts and opinions.
Okay,
which
even
is
better.
A gift.
I asked you to come with your top 3 murder weapons from Clue. It's a big six, which came as a shock to me because my main game was Clue, Discover the Secrets, and there was poison. I thought that was an OG weapon. Apparently it's not.
It sure isn't. But it's a great weapon, and that would be my number 1. And I'm sure it would be...
It was my number 1 too.
It would be yours too.
But here, well, let me give the actual list.
Go for it.
Here's the big 6. We've got a candlestick, a dagger, a lead pipe, a pistol, a rope, and a wrench.
Just as a side note.
Okay.
The dagger is also known as the knife, and the pistol is also known as the revolver. They have different generations have different things. So if you're confused, don't be.
Don't be confused.
Don't be confused. They're
it's like a
interchangeable.
rose by any other name.
Exactly. It
Is
still
that
smells as sweet.
Just as sweet.
I'm curious about what your top number 1 is. So I think that we should
start with 3.
Oh no, I want to know what number 1 is.
No. We got to build up to it.
Okay, fine.
Can I give an honorable mention first?
Do.
So my honorable mention is the pistol. I'm not going to pick it as one of my top 3 because it's so basic. But like, it's simple, it's fast, it's clean, it's over.
It's loud. People will hear.
Yeah,
people will come running.
It's fine. It's literally fine. But I think what bothers me is where's the drama? Can you imagine if Michael Myers used a gun? Like, there's a reason none of these iconic horror villains use guns.
That's valid.
If I was actually to kill someone, I would probably use the gun, but that's not the exercise.
You're incriminating
I think
yourself again.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. No, please continue.
I'm not for the record, I'm not planning on killing anyone.
There it is.
But
there it is. Sorry, we needed to establish that because I was getting worried. So I'm sure. Yeah.
No. I have no plans.
Okay. Good.
Currently,
good. I believe you.
So I just had to get that out of the. I did want to give it a shout out though because I do think it deserves some respect.
See, I was gonna give it a shout out as the worst.
Oh.
Like, it's stupid. Number 1, it's so loud. Like, realistically speaking, like, let's like pretend like we're not playing a board game. No, let's pretend like we're gonna pretend like we are your Mr. Green, because low-key in the new version you kind of look like him. Sorry.
Really?
In my humble
That's
opinion.
so nice.
I'll be Miss Scarlet Obby because I'm the main character. But like, imagine Mrs. White is in the kitchen. I'm in the billiard room, whatever that is. Just kidding. I know what that is, but I didn't for a long time. And Mrs. White shoots Professor Plum. I'm going to hear it. I'm going to come running. And what am I going to see? She's holding the gun. And the game is done. There's no mystery. There's no intrigue.
Why would she be holding the gun? You
think she's going to shoot it and run?
You drop that sucker and you run.
Fingerprint. Well, I guess there's fingerprints on everything, and we don't have that technology. Yeah. I just think there's no chance that she's going to shoot the gun, and by the time other people who are in the house, keep in mind we are in the house, are not going to come running quickly and see you leaving the kitchen. Hello?
Think about it another way, though. Okay, a gun, one shot, you're done.
Correct.
If you aim properly, which I would hope you would do some target practice ahead of time. But if you're using a knife or like some of these other weapons, you might need to go in 2, 3, 20 times. They're going to be screaming. It's going to get messy. Oh my God.
Musty.
It's going to get
There's going to be a
messy.
stench.
There will be a stench.
There will be a smell.
There will be blood on your hands. This is a ranged weapon. I just think for practical reasons, it is the way to go.
Let's agree to disagree on that, and let's get into our top 3.
Okay, let's get into the top 3.
I will start. My number 3 is the candlestick because it's funny. It's stupid. It's comical. It's not helpful. It wouldn't kill anyone. TBH. Like I know it. Like I'm imagining like a candlestick like with like the metal basin. Like it's in like a thing.
Oh.
So I'm clobbering you with the metal thing that the candlestick is in. I'm not
See,
hitting
that's not
you.
how I pictured
No,
it.
I'm pretty sure like if you look at the art, like as an artist, like
It's
you know,
the candlestick in the holder.
I'm like almost 100% sure there is a holder. So I will clobber you with the holder. And here's the thing. I'm going to clobber you with that holder. And it's like you said, you will scream. There will be a mess. It's not ideal, but it's funny. And for that reason alone, like imagine like on your tombstone, it's like death by candlestick. Like how iconic is that?
That is iconic.
That's like funny. And like,
Yeah.
you know what? Like at the end of the day, if someone killed me with a candlestick, like kudos to you. But that's my number 3. It's funny, but it's nonsensical to me.
So, spoiler alert, but candlestick is also on my list, and it's not at number 3.
Okay, well, I feel like whatever you're going to say is your number 3 is going
But
to
I
be on
agree
mine.
with a lot of the points you made. Okay, so my number 3 is the rope. And here's why. I'm thinking evidence. When I think of how to get away with murder, I think evidence. Rope, what is easier to get rid of than rope? You choke that sucker out, and you pop it in the fireplace. Done. No trace. No fingerprints.
It's valid.
It is simple. It will take some effort. It will take some muscle. So that's why it's at number 3 and not higher on the list. But in terms of evidence, like you are good. There's probably no blood. I don't know. I think it's a solid choice.
If you are strangling somebody with a rope, what is it going to leave? A rope mark on their throat.
Okay.
And like,
How is that going to point to you though?
it's not going to like point to you, but it's going to immediately tell me what the weapon is. And I want a little mystery.
Well, that's also a factor in my list because if you look at the list, I'd say 3 out of 6, maybe 4 out of 6 are just blunt force trauma weapons. And that's not fun to me. What makes a candlestick better than a wrench? Riddle me that.
I will get to that.
Oh,
Actually, not a spoiler. Well, a little spoiler.
Should we
alert.
go to number 2?
We should go to number 2. For me, number 2 is another one that you threw a little bit of shade at, but I'm going to show some love, is the dagger.
Oh, wow.
Because again, here's the thing, like it's less comical, like, you know, death by knife is a real thing and like people get stabbed and that's very scary and very sad. But I'm in the kitchen. Okay, you come at me. I grab a knife. I slit your throat.
Oh my God.
You don't scream because I know where to go.
Oh my God.
And then again, I just like do a quick rinse, throw you in the dishwasher. Inconspicuous. It's quick. It's easy. Is it messy? Absolutely. But
you're going to be covered.
No, I'm going to wear an apron, babe. I'm gonna be wearing gloves.
Okay, you're thinking ahead.
You were saying, oh, we're gonna go to target practice, blah 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 blah. You're gonna think that I'm going to stab somebody with a knife, slit their throat, and not be wearing like a full hazmat suit. Like I'm going to be dressed for the occasion, and then I will get rid of that.
But that's exactly.
Throw it in the fireplace with your logic. Okay, the hazmat suit is burned, and the blood is also burnt. But the knife is now in the dishwasher. I turn the dishwasher on. By evidence. Thank you. Your turn, number 2.
Okay, my number 2. This might shock you because I don't think it was on anyone's radar, but I thought through the possibilities and I'm going with a lead pipe.
Okay.
Of the blunt force trauma weapons, I think a lead pipe is the most fun. Do you remember boom whackers from like kindergarten? They were those big tubes and you whack them on the ground and they make like a little note.
Oh, the thing that like, it sounds like it's like throwing up, eh? Like it's like a gagging sound.
It's a gagging sound.
I've never experienced that.
You can whack them and you can like coordinate the entire classroom to produce like
I don't think that's
Carol of the Bells
thing where I'm from.
Okay, well it is here.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, lead pipe, like you can file that thing to a precise note and then like wham, wham, wham. You are killing with musicality.
You're gonna file it like sand it down,
to get to like really dial in that tone you're looking for. And I think
so you want a musical death
because you can like personalize it to you.
Okay, sure.
And I think it would also be fun if like you collected all your lead pipes from like all the murders, and then you kind of like created a little jingle.
Or you use them and you like, you know, make like a sink. Like, you know.
That is so true.
You can use them in your home, which is great.
Once you have the lead pipe, like, okay, it's good for murder. It's great if you have a clog.
Multi-purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that. Again, you're walking around with a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
That's suspicious.
Okay, well, here comes the twist. Because I did a little more thinking. We never said how we have to use the lead pipe, right?
Oh no, I'm
It
scared.
could be blunt force trauma.
Where are you
Or
putting
you
the
could play
pipe?
the long game.
Okay.
It's made of lead, right? Shave it off a little bit, get those filings, slip them into the morning coffee.
You're going for the poison.
Over a month. See, I wanted that poison, and I'm going to get that poison. And I will slip it into your morning coffee, your orange juice. I will put those shavings anywhere. And over time, yeah, your health is going to decline. It will be a little suspicious, but Miss Scarlett, like,
she got COVID.
She got COVID.
And that's how she died. But it's really the lead pipe.
Especially today, like there are so many illnesses going around. No one's going to think, oh, it's lead poisoning.
No, it's Mpox. It's, what's the other one that's
ivermectin. I don't know.
Who? Okay, no, I could see that. I like the creativity and the thought process of that. I was envisioning clobbering someone with a lead pipe, which is why it did not make my list.
Well, see, that's why I'm like, if you clobber someone with a wrench versus clobbering someone with a lead pipe, the lead pipe gets that sound bonus.
Period. No, that's
because that's the only
valid.
difference to me. Like, I'm hitting someone with an object. What's more satisfying? Hearing that like perfect doing.
I'm not sure that a lead pipe would make that noise. I like, again, not to challenge you, but I think that like that would be like if I hit you with like a thin, hard plastic thing. That's where you're gonna get the doing. But if I hit you with like a piece of metal, I don't care if it's hollow, it's probably gonna be like a bang. I don't know. Or
I don't know.
A doink.
In my
maybe
head,
a doink.
I'm going for like you know those bowls, the music bowls that they use at a sound bath, and they put that little.
I look like I go to sound bath?
No, you don't. But you know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
It's like a big metal bowl, and they take the spoon and they twirl the rim.
Oh, like
in
like the Caribbean music where they're like playing.
No,
the bowl?
that's a steel drum.
Oh well, those are fun too.
No, it's like when you're meditating.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think the Kardashians have done that. Maybe.
Yes, I'm sure they have. I'm sure. So that's what I'm going for.
In death, you're gonna give someone a sound bath?
That's what yes, exactly. It's both a murder and a performance. Number one.
I think we should move on to number one. But before we do,
okay,
I desperately need to use the restroom.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're going to leave this time for a few words from our sponsors. And I will go to the bathroom. BRB. Are there any sponsors?
I don't have any sponsors lined up, but I can make some up.
Okay, good. I'll be back.
At JCPenney, this summer, you can get 20% off on your favorite items, including flip-flops, sun tan lotion, and bathing suits. Do you need chicken? Well, we have it. Get your chicken today from Vaughn's. Okay, wait. What else? Feeling down? Well, get up with this medication. Sponsored by the Hoot and Holler podcast.
I've returned from the restroom.
We're back.
We're back and we're better than ever. Okay, so moving on to my number one weapon. I have been noticing a bit of a pattern here.
Okay.
You have been throwing shade at the weapons that I will choose before I say them. First, you threw some shade at the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what my number two was? For the people who don't remember, it was the dagger. You just threw some shade at the wrench.
Yeah.
That's my number one choice.
Okay.
But hear me out, okay? Out of all of the weapons that are available in the game, I have used a wrench the most. So I'm thinking about this. Like, I'm thinking about this from the lens of, like, this is the least suspicious thing for me to be using. And no one's going to question it. No one's going to question it. Why am I walking around the house with a wrench? Because I'm doing stuff. You're all lazy and you're not doing stuff. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing home improvements and killing, but doing home improvements. That is like the best alibi. No one's going to suspect me for walking around the house with a wrench. Are you kidding? Like, yeah, if you see a bludgeoned body and I happen to have a wrench, sure, yeah. Suspicious.
Not exactly making your case.
But I just think it's so inconspicuous.
I'm just imagining Miss Scarlet at this dinner party full of like 10 people, and she's just like walking around fixing all the like shower heads.
That seems really in character now. Like,
no, I think that would be very odd, and I think she would put a target on herself.
Yeah, okay, but you walking around with your lead pipe is so normal for a dinner party.
I'm not walking around with it.
I'm not saying that I'm walking around with the wrench, but if I happen to be and someone's like, what are you doing with it? Instantly I can think of a thing. And any murder that I will be committing will be in the kitchen. I'm going to bludgeon you with that wrench. It's going to get bloody. But then I'm going to wash said wrench and it's going to be clean. That to me is the definitive answer.
I think my number one is going to change your mind because a lot of the arguments you just put forth completely vanish when you use the candlestick. Now I'm talking the stick. I'm not bringing the base. I'm not messing around with blood or bludgeoning. We're going for asphyxiation. Hear me out. If I'm going to murder someone, first of all, I'm cutting the power. And what do you use? You bring out those candlesticks. Totally not suspicious. Give everyone a candlestick. Give everyone 5 candlesticks. We're all equally capable of this murder. Now, you shove the candlesticks down the throat, can't breathe, they're dead. Light the wick, murder weapon gone. Gone.
You're going to pull a wax candlestick out of somebody's throat?
No,
and
I'm going to light it while it's sticking out of their mouth. Okay.
I'm speechless. I have no words.
Cleanup, no evidence. And
the evidence will be dripping down their chin in the form of
there's
wax.
No fingerprints. So it could be anyone's candlestick.
Okay. But you just said, again,
yeah,
I'm arguing. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to come onto your podcast.
No, that's the point of this conversation.
Come into your space and start yelling. But that's what I'm going to do. So get ready for some yelling.
Okay.
So you literally just said you're going to go around and you're going to give everybody 5 candlesticks.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Green, me, Miss Scarlet, I have 5 candlesticks. Mrs. White is dead. And, Plum has 5 candlesticks. Mm-hmm. Peacock has 5 candlesticks. Mm-hmm. Mr. Green, you have 4.
Okay, but here's
Mrs. White has wax dribbling down her chin.
Here's the crazy thing.
She ate her own candlestick.
We gave Miss White 5 candlesticks, did we not? Take one of her sticks. You're back up to 5. I really thought this through.
I mean, that's valid. I'll give you that. I will give you that. But no, you know what? You raised some very valid points, and I will give you credit for that. And it's very creative, which I feel I gave you creativity points earlier as well.
I'm kind of killing it in that department.
You're kind of being really creative, which is like really special for you.
Because when I looked at this list, I just breezed past candlestick. I was like, what am I going to do with a candlestick? But when you really think about it, this is such an underrated weapon. And I want to see more candle murders in scary movies going forward because I think this has so much potential.
I really do believe like the asphyxiation in like a scary movie, iconic. Like imagine Ghostface walking up to Jenna Ortega, shoving a candlestick down her throat,
lighting it.
They need to give you credit for that. You will collect your bag for that because that is very, very creative.
The entire theme of this podcast is Hoot and Holler. So every guest that comes on the pod has to give me a hoot, which is something they want to shout out in a positive light, and a holler, which is something they want to condemn in a negative light. So how about we jump right in with our hoots? Let's start on a positive note.
My hoot is going to be detachable shower heads.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay, because here's the thing. I took a bathroom break a little bit earlier. I went into your bathroom. What did I see? A shower head that's stuck to the top of the thing. That is my worst nightmare. How are you cleaning yourself? A detachable shower head. If I want, I can have a karaoke moment. I can take the shower head off and pretend it's a microphone, which is so fun. But also, like, I can, like, take it off and, like, really get into my armpit with the detachable shower head.
I think that's a great option. And nothing is worse than low water pressure when you're taking a shower.
Sinful.
My hoot actually relates to the shower a little bit.
Okay.
My hoot is Meghan Trainor. I
Wow.
think Meghan Trainor is the most underrated musical artist of our generation, and I stand firm on that stance.
Mama Wanna Mambo.
Mama Wanna Mambo. Okay, me too.
Me too.
The mom song makes me cry.
Oh my God.
It makes me cry.
You might have a mom and she might be the bomb.
but ain't nobody got a mom like mine.
It's like cute, but it's like
so you might have a mom. You might have a mom.
and she might be the bomb. She might suck, but she might be the bomb.
But
It's inclusive. It's
yes.
inclusive, but it gives the same energy as the dog food commercial that she just did, where she's like, "Yeah, I'm a dog mom." Like, no.
I think it's adorable. And when I think of that song, I think of my mom. Yeah, I think Meghan Trainor has been shat upon by society, which is really upsetting to me because she has some certified bangers and she does not get the credit she deserves. She just released a new album and I gotta say, To the Moon, great song. This is the problem I have with her though, is that she keeps going back to this doo-wop sound, but when she goes pure pop,
No excuses. Genetics.
That
Blink,
fantastic
funk.
music. She
Yeah.
hits it out of the park. So I think she needs to ditch the doo-wop, go pop. That's my advice for you, Meghan, if you're listening.
Meghan Trainor is a great hoot for you. And on that topic, actually, I'm going to have a holler.
Okay.
Concert prices.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sabrina Carpenter just came out with a concert, like pre-sale, whatever. I'm hearing the tickets were like $300. I'm not paying $300 to see anyone. I don't care if it's the Pope. And like, I want to go to see Sabrina Carpenter. I want to go to see Adele. But I also don't want to have to sell my kidney to go see those shows. I don't make enough money. I don't get paid enough for that.
It's disgusting. It's deplorable. And this is not the America that I want to live in. My holler, I'm taking it to a place you might not expect. My holler is yogurt. I used to be a big yogurt eater. I'm talking 2-3 bowls a day. Because when you think about it, yogurt is like a miracle food. It has so much protein. One bowl of like a non-fat Greek yogurt.
I'm sorry, who's eating Greek yogurt? Ew.
Greek yogurt is where it's at.
Ew.
One bowl of non-fat Greek yogurt can be like 20 grams of protein and no fat. It's a non-fat yogurt. That's usually what it means. You're just like straight up getting those gains. You add some chocolate chips. It's basically ice cream. It was delicious, but let's just say the bowel movements were not great. And eating 2 to 3 bowls of yogurt a day, I would not recommend. And ever since I got off yogurt, my body has been flourishing. I feel I have more energy. I'm more excited. So maybe don't trust the miracle foods. Maybe don't eat yogurt. Maybe stop eating dairy.
Your nostrils are flaring.
Yeah,
face is getting red. Sweat beating down your face. You hate yogurt, and I can see it.
That's the thing that really hurts, though, is that I don't hate the yogurt. I hate what it did to me. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode because we enjoyed thinking about you listening the episode.
Absolutely. And I loved talking over you the entire time.
I know,
Eric.
that
It
was so much fun. I loved it too.
So fun.
Well, I get we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.